Hello, everybody. We have ES open right now on the 5-minute chart. I'm going to go down to the 1 minute real quick. Give me a moment or two just to get our bearings. We will be looking for the afternoon silver bullet today. And immediately when you see this like barcode-esque price action, it's a little bit of a red flag. We'll see. I know if you guys watched ICT stream this morning, you know that the trading day following a bank holiday is not an ideal time to trade. He usually specifies the morning session is the part to be avoided, and we're going into the afternoon, but we're gonna approach this afternoon session with some low expectations. My bias is up right now. I'll break that down for you right here on the daily. So as you can see, we're kind of coming off of last week respecting this daily fair value gap. We respected with our bodies very well, came back up, down one more time, then launched up very, very aggressively. I'm kind of looking for us to fill in this fair value gap. We have a weekly fair value gap. Here's the 4 hour. Okay, so 4 hours when the story really starts to be told. We have this daily discount array right here. So if we were going to take sell side, I was expecting to see this. Since we didn't take the sell side here, and you'll notice this change in price delivery right here, this order block that's made up of these two candles. With the bodies of these, we respect the mean threshold pretty nicely. And you know, we came up all last week, and we've came down, took sell side a few times on this 4 hour, and we just haven't taken buy side really yet. And you know, the narrative of last week was all up. I think we're just kind of digesting this move for last week. I do think we want to see higher price. I think the market's just digesting it. Going down to the 1 hour, we have price respecting these hourly fair value gaps pretty well. This yellow box is just the opening range. So as you can see, we're still below that, but we still have these relative equal highs right here. We have 3 of them, and we took sell side. You know, we came down, took the sell side from last week. So you know, that's usually a pool of liquidity that we look for. Came down pretty close again, and now we're just trying to figure out what to do in this range. I believe this is one of the reasons why you'll hear a lot of traders say they're gonna sit out Monday, or they'll just say like, I'm gonna wait and see what the weekly candle forms, because Monday gives you just a really good introduction to how the weekly candle is going to look. And then coming off a bank holiday, we shouldn't be expecting too much. We've been in this range all day, so we will be focusing on the high, the buy side liquidity here at the top of the range, and the sell side liquidity at the bottom of the range. I'm not going to try and play around too much inside this range. You know, I think it'll be pretty, since we're looking for the silver bullet today, it'll be pretty obvious that if we're going to get something, it's going to be targeting one of these two draws on liquidity. Going into the 5 minute, you can see these red lines denote the silver bullet session. As you can see, right now we have a pretty nice 5-minute candle aiming down. I do still think we go higher. As you can see, lunch starts right about here, so we have the lunch side liquidity, buy side up here, and we have end of lunch just about right here. So after lunch ended, we came down, took out this lunch sell side. And normally what we can see is once you take out the lunch sell side, it'll target the lunch buy side. Okay, so I'm gonna go up to the 15, I'm gonna exit out. I know this is a lot to digest for anyone new. This is how I usually watch my charts. So we have the 15-minute here, 5-minute here, and then the 1 minute here. On this 1 minute, this yellow line is the dollar. So I like seeing that. That's helped me a lot with entries. As we can see, the dollar's making higher highs. Right now we are just going to watch mainly. I do think price action will be really nice starting tomorrow. Again, expectations for today are pretty low. Okay, so in this window right here, I have NQ on the 5-minute. I like to use this 5-minute window just to map highs and lows for any kind of SMT divergence. So what I do is I scrunch the chart up pretty well, and remember I'm just using this for higher highs and higher lows. So you can see right here, this on the ES we have this low, high, lower low. For NQ, between like 11 and 1, that was a high, low, higher high, and we heard ICT explain in the morning session. NASDAQ was the leader to the upside. He broke down the AM session silver bullet that was kind of using the Six Sister approach on ES. But I believe NASDAQ also has some pretty nice buy side and equal highs right here. And this failure to make a lower low, I think we are primed to go up. You could kind of view this as an SMT divergence. ES will be following. The only concern I have here is the dollar making higher highs, and all morning, even while ICT was outlining, the buy side draw on liquidity, the dollar was still going up all while he was explaining that, and that's something I don't like to see. It makes sense, the day following a bank holiday, but for me personally, especially when I'm going all off my own narrative, I don't like to see that divergence in the dollar in ES, unless it's a really good looking trade. I will probably not enter I wouldn't enter long if the dollar is also going higher. So you can see right here the dollar made a higher high in the morning and then dropped down. Usually now I would call this just a sideways dollar, which, if the dollar's going sideways, it's not a really bad idea to go against it. Like a sideways dollar is usually just a waiting dollar. So what will happen is, usually the move will happen in the indices, and then the dollar responds. but we'll just see. Mainly focus on tape reading right now. So this low right here, if we go below this low, like with some good intention, some force and dropping, I'd be looking for these lows. But as long as we're above it right now, I'm kind of expecting us to be going into some higher price. We also have, if you can see up here on the 15-minute chart, the new week opening gap that we just got is up there too. So we got the new week opening gap right here. We have the opening days range in yellow, and then we have 2 daily hourly fair value gaps. So we have a lot of premium above us. Yes, a lot of premium above us, and we just took some liquidity from the previous daily candles, which is denoted by this line. You know, you can see here we respected the consequent encroachment of a daily wick pretty nicely. So right now the bias is upwards. We'll watch that here. We have a fair value gap right here. Seems like we're respecting consequent encroachment. We want to see it kind of violate that to let us know that sentiment is bullish. So it's looking decent. The dollar is looking kind of heavy, as we can see by this line. I'm hoping to see, you know, dollars breaking some lows right here. I'm hoping to see it kind of bounce and maybe continue lower, getting below this high right here. Okay, as you can see, we're disrespecting this SIBI right here. Well, we haven't disrespected it yet, but it is getting towards the top end of this SIBI, which is indicative of, you know, bullish order flow. You could actually probably want to outline that. This is one of those examples where ICT knows that if, well, I won't put words in his mouth, but usually when you want to see a fair value gap turn into an inverse fair value gap, it's usually seems like it's based off of narrative. Okay, so we're expecting consequent encroachment of this fair value gap with the candle's bodies, as you can see. But we still have the dollar right here going lower. price respecting the top end of that fair value gap. Okay, so we got to close above the fair value gap. That's good for bullish sentiment. What we'll probably want to see is come down, touch, take off. Okay, that's good. I would actually, you know what? If we were to come down and touch one more time, I would enter along. Taking this high would be very good. I want to see us kind of move through that high with a full body. If we could get like a full body through that high and like a close above it. Mind you, we still have the dropping dollar. Okay. Oh, we got to close above that high. So it looks like this is going to turn, this could possibly turn into a BISI. I would love to see, this could be a breakaway, but I would love to see a fair value gap formed and then entered into here. So on the 5 minute, you have this 5 minute SIBI right here, and ideally with some bullish price action, if we enter into this BISI right here, I would go long, especially with the dropping dollar. Times like this, I'd pull up. I've got NQ below. NQ is also making higher highs. We just took out that high, so NQ does seem like the leader. Okay. Going back to this 5 minute fair value gap, it's really good that we're like plowing right through it. We're showing no respect for this bearish sentiment around this 5 minute fair value gap. So probably what we want to see is this 5 minute candle come up, close strong, and then we could even use this as an inverse fair value gap, and assume that, you know, it would be a balanced price range because we'd have delivery on the sell side. We'd come up, buy side delivery, and then we'd want to see some kind of fair value gap form right around here, and then an institutional order flow entry drill. So as you can see, we're printing a few fair value gaps. When things get like this, and you're like, okay, I see multiple fair value gaps, like which one would I enter on? Don't get too hasty. Sometimes what I want to do is I would draw a fib. Okay. You can see the dollar is now about to make a lower low. So dollar's breaking through right here. There we go. See it? Watch us respect that. Okay. Oh. Okay, so we closed below that. So this is one of those examples when you'd want to start cycling through time frames. So starting at the 5 minute, we go down 4, 3. So this right here is a 3 minute BISI, 2 minute, 1 minute. also got the low, high, lower low, breakthrough on the 1 minute. So for stop placement, I'd probably drop it down. Again, we're targeting the top of the lunch side liquidity. So our first goal is going to be, 5 handles for the low hanging fruit objective. Oh, right there. Five handles. Should coincides really nicely with the lunch buy side liquidity. Okay, so you can see us dropping in this fair value gap. Nice. That's a good reaction right off of that fair value gap. See how NQ is doing. Okay, so NQ is able to take out that lunch high. So looking here on the 5 minute, notice how this candle, the low, came just a few ticks past the high of this candle. So we have sell side delivery, buy side delivery, all the way up, and then, so starting everything above this high, especially in the lower time frames, was only delivered one side, so we'll come back down, just up, down, good reaction off that 1 minute order block. Check the dollar. Dollar is bouncing pretty hard. It didn't want to take out that low. I'd say I wouldn't be too worried until the dollar gets closer to this high. If the dollar breaks this high, then we're making higher highs on the dollar. But in the bullish case, the dollar broke down, taking out these lows, and it's just returning to a short-term premium to send it lower below these lows. Kind of have a consolidation. a waiting game. Okay, another big thing too is notice the wick of this current 5-minute candle. The low coincides pretty nicely with consequent encroachment of the previous 5-minute candle's wick, right, that I'm on top of right there. The exact consequence exactly would be 1175. This low came in at 1150, so it went one tick over consequent encroachment of this wick, which is very nice to see. It supports we're on side with our bullish theory. See the dollar topping, making a lower high. That's very good for us. So now the plan is to see dollar come down and take out these lows. Dollar coming down and taking out these lows would send ES up into the lunch buy side, which is right up here, these equal highs, which is also, if you look over here on the 15-minute and hourly fair value gap, okay, so fast candlesticks in our direction is a very good indicator. See how NASDAQ is doing. NASDAQ is taking out its high. I'm expecting it to reach over for this high over here. I know it's hard to see. So it's looking like this was the PM session silver bullet. And remember what I said earlier, we wanted to see no respect on the 5-minute of this SIBI. So it came down, formed this 5-minute SIBI, came back up, threw it strong. So now in price structure, I wouldn't really want to see price come down below this low. And now we wait. So when you get to this point in the trade, it's about trade management. In the past, I've been one who would, rush their stop to break even. And, even right now, it's something I slightly want to do. We have this, what looks like could be bullish, bullish order block. So I wouldn't want to see price really get anywhere back to this fair value gap. but every now and then there's been multiple times where I would rush my stop up to break even. We'd come back down, hit the same fair value gap I entered on, and then just take off. Okay, see price coming down. So right now I'm watching the dollar. So we have this high, low, higher high, lower low, and the dollar's just in between these two ranges. I really want to see the dollar come down. It's nice that we are respecting this fair value gap with our candle bodies. But we can't rush our stop yet. We have candle bodies respecting the fair value gap. We have down close candles supporting upside delivery. I know this morning was also a little bit of a high resistance liquidity run. So this seems on par for the day. Okay, so what's going through my head right now is we've gone down below this fair value gap. Now my attention draws to the mean threshold of this candle right here and see how we entail that. If you take the candle's body, you can see that we have this candle body close right on mean threshold. With the dollar going sideways. can see on NQ we have this BISI right here, which will drop down into respected, but it still has this one right here, and we will permit lower price action for our bias is negated. Just, sloppy day, coming off of bank holiday. Look at this. Look at this 1 hour. Just down, all sideways, wicks. Okay, so went back into our original entry, fair value gap, reacted off of it. Let's see how this reaction plays out. Now I'm being cognizant of this fair value gap. When we do come back to it, I want it to go through it quickly. Okay, let's see, it's fighting its way through. Seems to be reacting right off of consequent encroachment. But we have the dollar that came right up, right above that high. Didn't want to continue above that high. Want to see the dollar get below these two lows. there's a good chance that we also go sideways for the rest of the day. As you can see, we are right here on the 15-minute. We are in this range. And if so 5-minute structure, still making higher highs and lows to the upside. 15-minute structure is still sideways. See the dollar right here? It's not ideal. See the bodies of these candles respecting the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. Okay, we've got the start of a new 5-minute candle. Sideways still. Got the dollar going towards a high. Not ideal. We seem to be respecting this fair value gap. Almost as an inversion. If we get above this fair value gap, it's for sure taken buy side. We haven't made a lower low, even on the 5-minute. Consequent encroachment, down, consequent encroachment. Okay, I'll probably move my stop to break even. This order flow is just below. Just below break even. This order flow is not looking ideal. Okay. It's got to close above this gap. There we go. There we go. Gotta keep closed. I'm gonna move it shy of break even, just because if we go up, if we wick higher and then close below in this, it's it's really giving inversion fair value gap now. We for lower prices. I am liking this push towards a higher high. And let me reiterate, this is one of those things where, you could, if this was to come back down and stop me out, this is going to play out in three ways. And it's really the only three ways that a trade can play out. It's either going to go for your price target. It's either going to go against you and hit your stop in two ways. Break even or at a loss. And right now, if I was to get stopped out, like break even, hit this fair value gap, and then go and run again, I would be completely fine. Like it's one of those things where you don't always have to be right. I mean, I was right, but you don't always have to make money either, because we're looking for clean setups. So if it was just super sloppy, stopped me out at break even, came back, just went a little over, and then ran for my price target, I wouldn't even be mad about that. I'm at the point where like my satisfaction in trading really comes from finding nice setups, smooth, easy price runs, like grinding through this and then like it hits the target, like that's nice, but it's very mentally draining. And it's more of like it's just not a clean setup or clean delivery. We like clean delivery. Yeah, so dollar's making higher highs. I like how it looks like we're respecting the top end of this fair value gap. So real grind. Even on the 15-minute, so this is another good thing to see for bullish sentiment. So this was the start of our price run. 1 15-minute down close candle, good run up, came back down, went just a tick shy of meeting this down close, was stopped right by this one. And that coincides on the 5-minute with what I was saying was, the start of this down delivery. It stopped right, went a tick over this high. Yep, so that was good. See, we're on sides. Now I'm a lot more confident with having my stop at break even. Again, we're going for these highs, which is also hourly fair value gap plus opening day gap plus new week opening gap. Just a lot going on here. A lot of premium up there. A lot of premium. Move this up a little just so spread doesn't fuck me. And now after this consolidation too, normally what happens is it once you consolidate and you move away from it, it moves quickly. I would, if we come back down into this consolidation, then that's just garbage price action. Like there's no way of reading that, predicting that. I'm not going to move my stop up, but I really want to see it go to these lunch highs. No, I want to see it return back in here. If it returns back in here, that's some very garbage price action. Especially if it like gets below this. Consequent encroachment. Okay, came back down. Notice how these down candles are coincided with this higher high on dollar. Yeah, I'm not, after closing above this high twice and having such a large down candle. So we closed above this high twice, large down candle, opened up, the high of this met the high of that. That's not good for bullish order flow. As you can see, the next candle is also looking pretty bearish. As long as we're above this fair value gap, I'm gonna stay in the trade, but as you can see, I trailed my stop up below it, because if we disregard that fair value gap, if we violate it, then order flow is not bullish. Dollar is about to make a higher high. Isn't great to see for bullish order flow, but even in the 5 minute, structure is still there, respecting. It's just a high resistance, a lot of resistance. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much. It's my first live stream. Welcome to my first live stream. I feel like I can't let it be silent for too long, which I feel like, probably would be better than me rambling. Awesome. So on the 5 minute, you can see down close candles are still respecting our holding up price. We're not closing below these bodies, which is good to see. It's sloppy as hell, but we're still looking on sides. Okay, yeah, so the dollar went right up above this high. It closed above that high. Let's see what we do from here. And also, yeah. So really, 5 handles from this silver bullet is 1,600. If we, I entered, entry wasn't prime. I entered really on this fair value gap right here, even though I knew it was going to come back down. Okay, dollar peeking up, come lower. Want to see it continue? Okay, so we got 5 handles from the silver bullet right there. I will sell one. It's not 5 handles per trade, but it's 5 handles in price action, and I'm more interested in identifying good price action. I'll probably leave this stop here. So if you've just joined, this limit order is 5 handles from my entry. It's also the today's lunch highs. It also is in the direction of an hourly fair value gap. It's also in the direction of a new week opening gap. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, we found 5 handles from a silver bullet entry right there. I'm still in the trade. I have my stop right below the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. If we get all the way to it, I think we'd go all the way back down through it and then just like range. But I'm giving it room to breathe. Because also to come back down and touch this, we're violating these down close candles. And again, you know, if we want to see upwards price action, we want to see down close candles support upwards price action. So it's kind of violating it here. The stop is probably going to get hit, but we'll keep it right under consequent encroachment. We found our 5 handles from silver bullets to the top here, targeting lunch side liquidity after taking it below here. It's pretty high resistance. Wasn't my cleanest trade, but I appreciate you all for watching. There she is. We could still even go higher, but I'm not interested in any more. Thank you for taking the time to watch my first ever live stream of 5 handles on the silver bullet. Just to reiterate, this was our entry. We got 5 handles right there. Need to find a good way to draw this out. Five handles there. We entered on there. Stop right there. Risk reward ratio 4. About a 4 to 1. So you put your stop right below this candle, enter on this for this BISI, ride it up 5 handles for 4-1. We decided to, we knew that the bias was towards the upside because it's easy to see on the 15-minute here. We made this lower low in respect to this. So right here, lower low in respect to this low. On the NASDAQ, that right there, that was a higher low. So we took this SMT divergence in correlation with the equal highs on the NASDAQ. We had equal highs on the ES, along with a multitude of premium PD arrays. We had 2 hourly, get that out of there, 2 hourly PD arrays, as well as the new week opening gap, so that was a strong draw. And then we had in our window, you know, there wasn't really space to go short here. Like, you could have taken this short, but I wouldn't have taken this short if NASDAQ was making a higher low, as well as, you know, back to the theory, you know, ICT talked about in the afternoon session, look at lunch liquidity. So if you look at the lunch liquidity on the 5-minute right here, lunch starts right here, make a high, come down, lunch ends right here. And then, you know, we take liquidity, which is also right here, sell side. And then we have this strong 5-minute candle up. So with all that being said, price gave us a lot of indications it was going up. So you can see right here, we're actually expecting that consequent encroachment with the bodies whipped down pretty hard. Yeah, with the dollar also looking like it might go lower. This might go all the way back up, but I'm not really that interested in it. I forgot to reset my account balance, but I will do that for you guys right here. Here is the order history. Today is 9/5. On 9/5, this was my first entry for 200, and then stopped out a little bit in profit. But I will actually be resetting this, and I was supposed to reset it at the beginning of this video. I'll reset it to 150 because that is one of the most common prop firm top ends. There we go. So starting from here on out, we'll be seeing what we can build with 150 balance. I will show you this history, account history every day, so you can see there will be no resets after this one. And yeah, thank you for watching.